Have you got a new porn fetish? Like it used to be like.
Yeah, I got married and then I was just like, I'm gonna scratch some new itches.
I don't mean like you know, is it still stockings and nipples rubbings and things like that? Mannequins and
nipple
whatnot?
rubbings. First of all, everyone likes their nipples rubbed.
I don't like my nipples
come
rubbed.
on.
That much. I really
rub
don't.
them right.
Why don't you come over and rub my nipples?
I don't want to rub your nipples.
One time I was wearing some socks that were like sheer, like sock, and I showed you them, and you touched them, and you're like, "Whoa!" Because like you're like, what am I doing? This is my thing. I like to rub stockings.
Oh, you were wearing socks that were like kind of nylon-y?
Yeah, and you were like, "Whoa, what the hell?"
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I get mad when I like there's like people wear things that I'm like, oh, that's my fetish, but it's like but you're not my wife, and also like you work at a bank.
So what's the look?
What's the what?
What's the look? What's the outfit?
What do you
said
I don't know. It could be anything. What do you mean? What's the look?
You said like you see something.
No, I'm saying like I see like a little bit of like leg with like any kind of like nylon on it. I'm not saying like I see a outfit. I'm saying like the fetish is for.
It's simply legs and nylons.
Yeah.
You okay?
I feel like we've been over it, and I feel like we're not making progress by me talking about.
I feel like
we're like a sideshow freak.
I feel like we're near a breakthrough right now.
No. It's just a thing. Everybody's got buttons, right? You guys have buttons, little sexual buttons.
Sexual.
You know who I envy? These people who get turned on by bare legs, high heels, big tits, and like a can of beer, like because it's clearly their planet. Like you're like driving down the street and it's like hey, Big Bang Theory's on 5 nights a week, and it's like some ironic thing of like a woman going, ooh, Big Bang Theory, and there's a can of beer between her tits. I don't know why I'm throwing Big Bang Theory under the bus. I just mean like any product that would be like where the joke is that it's supposed to be sexual, but like I look at it and I go, well, that's not sexual. That's like a parody of sexuality. But there are some people in the world who are like, funny joke, plus I'm jerking off. Because I also, there's a lot of stuff that I am like I'm sure people, like I've said on the podcast, like there's people would if they were walking past it on the street, they'd be like, that's nothing. That's a fire hydrant. And I'd be like, that's my jam.
I was telling you backstage, I was at a party last night that was very pansexual. It was kind of all over the shop, and there was people that were trans, and also like I don't know the words. I will get them all wrong. I don't know all the names for things that people are or don't want to be called or whatever. But a friend of mine who is gay, but he is a man, but he's into other men, but he likes to date straight men because he wants men.
Those are colored people. You say you don't know the phrases. That's colored people.
Colored people?
Did they change that?
Are you my grandma? My grandma would look at the window. She was the nicest lady in the world, but she'd look at the window. Oh, colored people.
My grandparents too, but they were taught that was their African American, and we've kind of we always do that. Like in the '90s, like the African American thing was trotted out. It was never retracted, but like I think there might be I don't even, for all I know, it's now. I haven't even checked in on this, and how would you? Remember when Kramer was apologizing for his little meltdown on Letterman, and he called black people Afro-Americans, like, and it was like this really weird, striking thing. I mean, like colored people was introduced. It was supposed to be like supposed to be a healthy thing. The National Association for whatever the blah 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 colored people has colored people right in their name. Advancement. I know what it is. I mean, it was a fine thing, and then we're like, oh, grandma, but she's like saying it. She's trying to do it right. She's like, oh, there's a colored gentleman. Well, I remember, yeah, it's funny. Our grandma's generation.
So my friend says he was like, I want men to treat me like a lady, but he's not a woman. He's a guy, but he likes straight men. I'm like, wait, so what? He goes, your last boyfriend was a straight guy? He goes, yeah. He goes, my last boyfriend was straight. And I go, did you guys fuck? He goes, yeah, all the time. And I was like, wait, how does that work? And he goes, ain't no fag gonna fuck me like that. I'm like, that's fucking fascinating. And so he prefers straight dick to gay dick, but it seems like it's pretty gay dick too.
A lot of us say that's what they. It's like that. I think that's the Heisenberg principle. That if you can observe a straight dick in a gay butt or mouth, the moment you have observed it as straight, it becomes gay. But that's straight talk. That's heteronormative psychology. He should know better. He's the expert when he's being fucked by a straight guy and when he's being fucked by a gay guy.
The customer's always right, man.
It's up to him what he wants to call his customers. Yeah, but I mean, I that's the thing. Like, what was I gonna say? Probably something inflammatory and dated and clumsy.
Were you still talking about colored people?
No, I wasn't gonna talk about colored people. Colored people, they're on their own. The world's become too complicated. Colored people, you're on your own. What was it about sexuality? I was trying to remember. I was thinking of something when you were talking about that.
I just like the fact that, as we grow up, I think we've talked about this a bit, and of course, very poorly educated conversations about it, is that when we grew up, like it was this, that, or the other. There was only kind of 3 or 4 Crayolas in that box. Now there's a bunch, which is great. But I just don't know. Like, I don't really have the vocabulary for it.
Also, there was this switch, which I totally understand, but it was a definite switch from our generation to this new generation, which is that now you're supposed to ask a little bit, which in our day, because there was only so many things and being different just got you beat up. And I kind of tried to broach this with when Curtis was here. We were talking about Revenge of the Nerds, which he totally said, like you watch that movie and it's like, yeah, through the politically correct lens, that movie now commits more crimes than it ever solved. But the interesting thing about when you watch that movie is that you can, if you want to understand like the Gen X like concept of political correctness and progress, all we ever understood was going from bullying, going from bigotry to dropping that. And so when you watch like these 80s movies where like underdogs are the new heroes, what you're seeing is a lot of, for lack of a better word, ignorance, like ignoring what makes people different. So like you see like just unlikely families, and one of them's gay, and but they don't make gay jokes. They don't beat him up for being gay, so he's one of the family. And then this guy smokes pot, and they smoke pot with him, and it's just like they're all put in this big pot. And that's the Gen X version of progress, is that we stop hurting each other. And so and that's when I ran into trouble, recently, or a couple months ago, 6 months ago now, it was when our friend Jane was up, whose Earthshine you said you brought to that party, and it was a big hit. Yeah, Jane should know that.
I have to, Jane's not here, I don't imagine, but I have to get, Jane, if you're listening, I have to get in touch with you, because I brought your absinthe to a party, and it was everybody's favorite thing, and I'm being tweeted about it a lot, because everybody got stoned to the tits on the fucking absinthe. It was very good.
I was drunk and I used the wrong pronoun 1,000 times with her because she was presenting very male, and I was just drunk and whatever. And then someone complained on Twitter, and then I did not ingratiate myself to the community with my response, which was like, if that's what you took away from the podcast, you are too sensitive or whatever. And I was like, ah! But the interesting takeaway that I took from all of that was like, if you use that as a yardstick, like way out there, this like crazy new world, the word crazy offensive now, but in reference to some of the stuff, but like you're actually supposed to now explore and ask, which was like kind of like goes back to like 60s and 70s, kind of like when we were at a high of our like Norman Lear kind of driven like let's end racism, but then like the 80s, 90s, and things kind of ushered in this world of like, you know what? Put your hands in your pockets, look at the ground, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, you're actually like for progress. And it's like the way I put it was like when I was a kid on the playground, anybody that like asked you if you're a boy or a girl, or what you preferred to be. That was called a bully. It was like I was asked that a lot. I was asked if I was straight or gay. I was asked if I was a boy or a girl. I was asked why I don't shower. I was asked all kinds of questions, and they were not fun questions to be asked, and I was not happy to be asked them, and the answers were not going to make anyone happy, and no one was seeking any actual answers. And so there's a kind of psychology there where you go, I'm going to be a hip modern person when I grow up, and I'm going to go with the flow. And then now we're entering this new world. We're going with the flow. All of a sudden now we can end up being the tide of bigotry by going with the flow. Fart corner! When you want the fart corner to start on the second bar. Wait, what's his name? Richard Jenkins, who made that song? Academy Award winner.
Kevin MacLeod.
Kevin MacLeod. There can be only two. Make another version of that song with like a little bar, give me a little ramp, Kevin.
Yeah.
And if your head comes away from your neck, it's over. Where's the camera? Where's the camera when that red light goes off and then there's no red light anywhere?
It goes to another camera behind you.
Oh, there's a camera behind us.
No. If you're looking there, the red light will go on somewhere else. See, now it's over there. Now it's up there. Now it's going to be over there.
Holy ground, Highlander. All right.
MacLeod's the Highlander's name.
Yeah, MacLeod is Highlander's name. Thanks for backing me up, guys.